In the 1800s, many people started to discover this wild land. During the 1870s and 1880s, steamboats brought tourists up the St. Johns and Ocklawaha rivers. This is still a marvelous spot to unplug and unwind.
The people coming down in the steamboat days would stop off here at Bluffton or Orange Bluff and then put in to a smaller skiff that would go on down to De Leon Springs to the resort.
Juniper Creek. That's the most perfect water I think I've ever been in my life. The water is not cold, it's there by the bridge.
You're talking about Juniper Wayside there?
Yeah, Wayside.
On 19.
Florida's oldest tourist attraction is on the west end of the byway, Silver Springs Nature Park. This is one place you are guaranteed to see wildlife, up close and personal. Other TV shows and movies have been shot here over the years, including the 1960s hit TV show Sea Hunt and the horror classic Creature from the Black Lagoon. There are several world-class springs along the byway. Alexander Springs, Juniper Springs, Fern Hammock Springs, Silver Glen Springs, and Salt Springs. Each has its own unique features and charms. Yes, those are blue crabs swimming around at Salt Springs. Marine life in an inland spring? Yep, it's evidence of a large part of Florida being underwater a long, long time ago. It can get pretty hot here in the summer. Even this grasshopper made sure he stayed in the shade on his trip down these steps. So visitors and local folks come to swim in the refreshing crystal clear water of the springs.
Here we are at Jan and Al's River Park Cafe along the Scenic Byway, and we're sampling some real cracker food here. Here's the mystery of grits that not very many people know. It's not a grain, it's not a rice, it's not barley, it's actually ground corn. This was the cracker staple for a long time. Even at the poorest of times, you could always grind corn and make grits. Now it's become a delicacy. You go into restaurants these days and you pay lots of money for grits. I call it the revenge of the crackers. This is how you eat them at lunchtime and dinner time. Never as a breakfast cereal. But if you're a real cracker, you eat these things as a side dish with lots of butter on top of them. Not margarine, but real butter. You just have to drown the grits. Real southern grits.
Well, the history of this river, it dates back 60 years or better before Plymouth Rock, which is very interesting to me. I mean, you can go into some of the New England towns and see the history there, but when you come on the river and find out the history of the Spanish and also the English, like William Bartram and Spalding and all those people that came here in the 1760s, and there was a lot going on in this part of Florida. On the large boat, I take 20 passengers. That goes out, it departs at 10, 1, and then we have an afternoon tour that's seasonal, and we announce that on our website. Then we have the 2 smaller boats that are more for the serious eco ventures, where we can get back into the smaller estuaries. So now we're traveling on the river. Over here is Volusia County, and that's Lake George State Forest. And this side over here is Lake County, and that's Ocala National Forest. Oh, here, we got a little guy over here. Now I'm going to tell you the secret of finding alligators. You look for something that looks like a truck tire. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of alligators. For every alligator we see, there'll be 30 of them that see us that we don't see them. You see them ridges on their back. Underneath those ridges, they've got this osteoderm, or alligator scute. It's a bone, and they're free-floating. They're not attached to the skeleton or anything, and blood is coursing through them. The black skin's up against them, heating the bone up. It's a solar panel. Yeah. Solar panel and armor plating. And you see the little baby's heads up there, and she's feeding them right now. Basically, it's the enjoyment that I get out of it is showing people Florida that they miss. A lot of times they're driving the different highways and staying too long at the beaches, and some of them attractions in Orlando. And I like to pull them away from there once in a while and bring them out and show them what real Florida is supposed to look like, and a lot of people are amazed.
The Fort Gates Ferry is another unique feature of the Byway. In operation since the Civil War, the ferry takes you across Little Lake George for $10 a car. Cowhunters, crackers, and conservationists. The story of this byway is a clash of colorful characters. At one time, the area was called the land nobody wanted. Today, like many of the National Forest lands, it's the land of many uses. It's the delicate balance of man working with nature that has helped restore and preserve these forests, rivers, lakes, and springs, and their wildlife. The Florida Black Bear Scenic Byway is a place to experience parts of Florida that are much like they were decades ago. It's an ecotourism wonderland of greenways and blueways. Come visit the Florida Black Bear Scenic Byway and touch the forest. Discover the wild Florida that has been calling to adventurers, historians, naturalists, and vacationers for centuries.